Hello, everyone, and welcome to tonight's program. My name is Lee Pfeffer, and I'm the manager of museum experience at the GLBT Historical Society. And I would like to welcome you all to this installation of our Mighty Reels program. I'm going to be telling you a little bit about the program and introducing our guest for tonight and a little bit about the clips that we're going to be watching. But I wanted to start by acknowledging that the GLBT Historical Society is based on Ohlone tribal land. I invite any Indigenous folks with us today to make themselves visible in the chat and be recognized as we honor both the contemporary and ancestral lives of America's Indigenous peoples. This event is being recorded and will be posted to our YouTube channel as always, and also on our website on our past events page. And if you're watching live, we welcome your active participation in the chat. I know that there's going to be some folks tuning in who are actually part of these videos, so please feel free to, engage and have a good time in the chat. Post comments, observations, and questions. And lastly, before we talk a little bit about tonight's program, I figure there's some of you who may not be super familiar with our work, so let me tell you a little bit about the Historical Society. Founded in 1985, the Gay, Lesbian, Bisexual, Transgender, or GLBT Historical Society is recognized internationally as a leader in the field of LGBTQ public history. Our mission is to collect, preserve, exhibit, and make accessible to the public materials and knowledge to support and promote understanding of LGBTQ history, culture, and arts in all their diversity. Our operations are centered around two sites. We have the GLBT Historical Society Museum located in the heart of the Castro at Castro and Collingwood on 18th Street, and we are open today after a brief closure from the Omicron surge, so we're welcoming you all back into the museum. We're open Wednesdays through Sundays. And we have the Dr. John P. DeCecco Archives and Research Center, which is in the Mid-Market District. Please feel free to check out our ever-growing array of exhibitions, events, and archival resources on our website at glbthistory.org. We're always putting wonderful new things up on there. All of these programs get archived there, and our archivists are working really hard to create new primary source sets and a whole bunch of wonderful collection aids for you. Finally, I'd like to thank all of our members and donors who make our work possible. If you're not already a card-carrying member of the GLBT Historical Society, I encourage you and invite you to consider joining today. Members get a variety of neat perks, including a 20% discount on merch in the store, both physical and online. You also get access to the museum and our events like this for free for yourself and a guest. And you also get access to special members-only events and exhibition openings and things like that. You can learn more about how you can become a member and other ways that you can support the society by visiting our website at glbthistory.org/join-give. You can also just click the little, get involved button on the top of our website. I want to thank you again for being here, and if this is the first one of these that you have attended, our Mighty Reels program, this is a quarterly series that we launched last year. This series highlights home movies, drag performances, amateur documentaries, and interviews with queer history makers. It provides an intimate look at LGBTQ past straight from the camera lens of the people who were making it. Each program, we screen footage from our archives, accompanied by a discussion with historians, community members, and activists on the significance of these images. And tonight we are joined by John Carr, who grew up in Colorado and has lived in San Francisco for the past 47 years, where he had a landscaping company until his retirement in 2004. And his partner, Michael Lowney, his life partner of 19 years, is a fine artist, and he's here tonight because we have some videos in our collection from that were donated along with the Queer Blue Light Video Collective collection, and lo and behold, he is part of them, and we wanted to bring him on here to kind of talk a little bit about his experiences in San Francisco in gay life in the 1970s. So let me bring John Carr on here. Hi, John.
Hey, how are you?
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much for being part of our program, and thanks for responding to my email. And can you tell us a little, just a little bit before we kind of get into these videos that we're going to be showing tonight? Can you tell? I mean, I know the story, but the folks who are watching, can you tell them a little bit how you got involved with the society and kind of how this program tonight came to be?
Uh, well, in 2015, my partner Michael and I were seeing films at the Frameline Film Festival. And one of the films that we went to see is called Reel in the Closet, which was a film by Stu Maddox. And it was a documentary about, with clips of basically hidden life of gay people going clear back into the 40s. And so it was kind of really cool, and I was very interested in that. And we were watching the film, and in the middle of the film, suddenly I'm on the screen, and Michael and I look at each other, what? And so obviously then I thought, well, I better find out about this. And I went, after the Q&A, I went up to the stage, and Stu was coming off the stage, and I said, I'm in your film. And he said, really, who are you? And I said, John Carr. And he recognized my voice, even though it was almost 40 years earlier. But he says, I know you because I have been editing these films for so long that I've heard so much. I've been narrowing this down into a tight little clip. So it turned out that, unknown to me, some of the videotapes that my partner at the time in 1980, Earl Galvin, had done in my kitchen on Castro Street, ended up in the collection of Queer Blue Light. And Queer Blue Light was founded by Earl and Dan Smith. And several years ago, Dan Smith gave the whole collection to the Historical Society. So, long story. Stu invited me and Michael up to his studio to see all of the tapes that he had. Now, this medium, black and white reel-to-reel tape, I had no way to play any of these tapes. It was ancient history. It was like, no way to play. There was no machine to play it. So I had also had 3 tapes that Earl had left with me. And so we went up there one day and we watched the tapes that Stu had, and he had pulled some of this material from. My little bit in the film was only like 10 seconds long, but it opened this huge closet door, if you will.
Right, yeah.
And, yeah. So I loved it. And then he said, well, these tapes were all digitized by John Raines, who's like this amazing electronic person who can, I mean, he's not an electronic person, but I mean, he works with electronics and digitized these films,
He's a
these
media
videos.
conservationist, right?
Yeah, and he works for for the Historical Society. So I got in touch with him, and then he digitized the 3 tapes that I had. And then once they were digitized, then I donated them to the Historic Society for my own collection, which is separate from, but really they all belong together, the tapes that were found among the tapes in Queer Blue Light.
Mm-hmm.
So may I say a few moments of info about Queer Blue Light, because it was a film collective that was formed out of the need to portray queer people in the media who weren't getting any coverage on the local news. And there was a lot of political stuff that was going on. This was started in like the mid 70s, and there was the Briggs Initiative, there were other things, there was Anita Bryant, there were all of these things that were affecting the gay community, but they weren't really being asked what their opinions were on this. And there were also social events and drag shows and stuff that weren't being covered. So they wanted to cover this. They put together, this video camera, which was one of the first video cameras, reel to reel. The tapes were 30-minute tapes. The batteries were like this big, and they weighed about 20 pounds. And you had to carry 2 batteries with you whenever you went out on a shoot, because you'd have to change it after 20 minutes, which meant that you could never tape anything that was 30 minutes long without stopping to change a battery.
Right.
But they got through it, and they did this amazing collection, which I think is isn't it like over 100 tapes or something in it?
So it's a big collection. Yeah, there's a lot of material there. And some of the things sorry, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say, so you can imagine that most of this was like, interviews with people on the street, or coverage of shows and stuff, not, me having a party in my house on Castro Street. And so that was an anomaly that was in there. And Stu, in going through all of this, because he used a lot of queer blue light stuff in his film, he found this and he says, oh, wow, this is great. I want to put this in my film.
Right. Yeah. And for anybody who doesn't know, Reel in the Closet is a documentary on queer home videos. So this, must have felt like a gold mine. Yeah.
I guess so.
Well, it brought you here. It
well,
it
here
had
we
a
are. So, yes.
lovely little bits and pieces along the way of fate. Well, we're gonna show edited down clips of 4 videos. One is the video that was donated along with the Queer Blue Light collection that you saw in Reel in the Closet, and then the 3 others are just clips from 3 of the other videos that John donated, and we're going to give you a little bit of context for each of them, and just kind of running commentary. If anything that you want to interject, John, while the videos are playing, please feel free. And if anybody in the chat, was part of these parties or recognizes anybody or, has anything to say, please feel free to pop in the chat.
I think there'll be some people that are in the videos that are watching tonight. So
yeah. So do you want to give us a little bit of context about the first video that we're going to show? This is this is the Leap Day party in 1980. Can you tell a little bit of what was going on? Give folks a little bit of context before we hop into this one.
Okay, so January 1st, 1980, I fled a relationship and moved into this flat on Castro and Market, and this was the first party, which was Leap Day. It was a leap year, so 29th of February. And I invited a bunch of my friends to come to the party. Earl had the camera and was just videoing people as they came in, and we goofed around, and we were probably really pretty high, and just had a lot of fun. So I hope that you get the feeling of the fun and the kind of I don't know, we were doing stuff that people still do today. So.
All right.
Well, hello. Hello. This is the pre-party me. The pre-party you.
And you can see that World Series label, right? That must have been like, this must have been a taped over, potentially.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad. Yeah, there was a lot of read through of these tapes were used over
What's that?
and over. So,
well, you won't be able to see yourself.
that's John Gillis, and he's probably watching.
Oh, well, I'll tell you. The monitor is in the front room.
I saw it when I walked in. I went,
Right.
what is this? Uh-oh. movies.
Oh, is anyone answering doors?
Oh,
Sure, John.
John is.
I found the best place to be. Ha ha ha. Strawberries.
Oh, I don't know if are they out yet? Is there some plan of presentation?
This is Bob, and that was Roger that came in, and that's, well, everybody starts introducing themselves. This is my sister Diana, everybody.
Hi.
She came
Hello.
Diana?
Diana.
Jim. Jim, nice to meet you. What's the occasion here? Just,
Well, this is,
time?
just
or-
moved in a month ago.
Oh,
This is a
like
housewarming, leap day party.
Yeah. Wait, everybody should jump. I just got out of one. I've not got to leap on anybody at this stage. I know all about leap year.
What are the things, what do I do? Do is go with college
I just like to have
Stick your eye on. Under your nose.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the light is so dim it blurs out there.
I don't see the dirty picture.
Do you have a bag?
The bell rang. Does that mean the Tootsie? No, the timer bell. It's leap day. Yeah. Well, the thing is, you have to be very careful about where it's pointed.
Where it's pointed?
Yeah.
Why where it's pointed?
Because there's a
Down
thing
or
in
up?
there called a Vidicon tube. No, what it's pointed at. Coming in this way.
Oh. Did it pause?
It paused.
Did it pause? That's weird. Let's see. Oh, is it buffering? Here, hold on one second. Let me bring up my backup. One moment. So while I'm bringing up our backup, can you kind of explain a little bit? It seems like folks who are at this party are not quite understanding what's going on with the video, and that there's like a monitor.
Well, okay, video was absolutely brand new. There weren't personal video recorders yet. That was a couple of years out yet. But so nobody really had one. And they were very expensive. The tapes were expensive. The batteries were expensive. And they were cumbersome to use. And it was black and white, reel to reel. So it took a level of skill just to use it. But that's what we had. And so people walked in and they didn't know what was going on. And so they were goofing around a lot. Plus they were, this was a party and they didn't expect that, but they were also bringing, it was a potluck party, as many of my parties were, and people brought food. And so you see a lot of other people preparing the food.
Yeah. All right.
You gotta go on? No.
It's leap
There we
day.
go.
Yeah.
I lost the audio. Is it still
We'll
on?
create an image in there.
Sorry, did you say that there's no audio?
Well, it is now, but it wasn't there for a minute. I thought
Oh,
it
okay.
went away.
That might just be a connection thing here.
Okay.
It won't go away, and that'll remain as a ghost ever after. They call it a burn. So that's the reason I don't usually let people handle it. But if you come here, you can see what it looks like.
Ow!
It's just a little television screen.
Yeah. That's great. We're having a Hacking with Doom class. Oh my God! I shouldn't give you the inspiration.
Oh, you were. I've just been closed up on the work you're doing.
Running commentary.
Oh yeah, but the sound's not on in there. They can't really hear it.
Yes, it is.
Oh, it is? You turned it on?
Oh yes, they've been listening to every word.
Oh, great.
Phil. Oh my God! I shouldn't have said fucking shit.
Oh no.
Your mother said you wanted to.
Oh my God, blackmail. I got a problem. John's real hungry, but he won't come to the kitchen because he's afraid to put him on television.
Oh, okay. Well, he can come in just a few minutes.
Family, and they don't like to go to television.
In just a few minutes, it's going to be all over, and then you won't have to worry about it. It's just a little bit of tape left, and I just want to finish it so I can forget tape and.
Oh, I'm just arranging this real
All right. So at the time, what was so you said that this is your leap day party. What was life like for all of y'all at this time, right? It's turned 1980. You guys are having just fun casual parties. What was it like for you to be, what was it to be queer in San Francisco in 1979, 1980? And just, having just kind of everyday fun gay life.
Well, I got here in '75, and it didn't take long to just fling the closet doors open and just start having a good time. And it really was a party, within reason. We still had to live and do normal things, but it just felt, it was so wonderful. And we were meeting people from all over the world, and they were all telling their coming out stories. Some were fleeing from their families. Some had their, had everything basically in their suitcase, and they were coming here to make a new life. Some wanted to change their names, wanted to lose the family name. Some still had connections with their families, and that was wonderful. I had a very loving and supportive family, and I didn't realize how many didn't until I came to San Francisco and met all these other queer people. So it was a time of great learning and also wonderful joy. So yeah.
Right. Well, so we have an additional one that I thought was pretty silly and fun. You did was it a going away party for your friend Robin, or what was the context of the next video that we're gonna watch, where y'all were playing a whole bunch of doing basically like a fun little video cooking show, home video?
Robin was okay. Robin grew up in New York. I knew her from she was my roommate when she was going to school in Tucson, University of Arizona, back in the 70s. And it was kind of in the point where I was coming out, and I said I was bisexual, and stuff like that. And she kind of like, okay. But we never had that kind of relationship. But anyway, so when my partner David and I moved to San Francisco, she followed soon afterward and lived with us for a while, and then she got her own place near us. And then after a while, she decided to move back to New York. So this was actually her coming back after moving to New York. for a visit. And she had her best friend that she had worked with when she worked at the Lobster Shanty, which was out at Pier 39 back in the day when Pier 39 was a brand new thing. And so Gary is in this video as well, and Robin. And, you know, unfortunately, like so many others, Gary was going to die later on to AIDS. And a lot of the people in these videos are not here anymore. So we don't want to get into that because this is supposed to be a fun time, but you know, this is before all that happened.
Right.
And so these are wonderful memories to come up to find again after 40 years of people that are gone, and this is all that I have. So
and
yeah.
gay life, you know, before any of that was part of it in San Francisco as well. All right,
Right.
well, let's pull up this clip here.
There's Robin.
Hi. Here we are in John Carr's kitchen. Are we on?
You're on.
Oh, time to do video cooking. Are you zooming in very much?
A lot.
Okay.
But you don't have you didn't have your makeup on yet.
No, your makeup on, right?
Oh, you mean
For
this?
Bubba's prison.
Already? He knows what's going on?
He's
Ran back out again.
And John, who is filming right now? Who's narrating? Is that you?
I think that's me,
Hello
yeah.
there.
And also the other person in the picture next to her is my partner, Brooke, who was my partner for 11 years. And then he died in 92, so I'll fill you in. That's Brooke.
Did he tell you about
David!
and Andrew?
I couldn't believe it.
I know.
I couldn't believe it. That's great.
That I've been in San Francisco for 3 months, and I think it's probably one of the most beautiful cities in the world. And I need to leave. I really need to.
Do you have to leave?
Yes, the contract says we open the 12th of March in Tinseltown, Pantages Theater.
LA?
Hollywood, dear. Worse.
Right.
So I'm going to hate to leave this lovely city.
Where have you been staying?
I have an apartment on Gary.
They supply?
No, I have. But I think I did just about everything but hang by my knees from the Golden Gate Bridge. I've done some nice restaurants. I had friends drive me through the wine country. Oh, that was wonderful.
Did you take a mud bath?
No, I didn't.
What?
And I
Hugo! Hey! Look at this, the pizza! I mean, this is real New York pizza! Okay, now, you pretend that the bull is coming onto the pizza, but he's not coming because we don't have any red salsa, and bulls only like a red, sort of like this color, but a little more red.
Yes, for the benefit of our viewers who are watching this in black and white.
Oh, black and white. This is red. This is the red I was talking about.
Yes, my dress is red, she said.
You see, I got these red stripes.
Red stripes, yes.
A stripe in my black.
Let's look at those stripes real closely here.
Real close, zoom in on the strap, baby.
Well, thank you very much, Julia.
So it's time for video cooking and putting away our Playboy.
Okay. Now, what is going on here? Please tell us about it, Julian.
Julian Childs here. Here we have curry dip,
Yes?
right? This
Mr. John? Well, I guess we could call it that.
Now, what is that you are doing?
I really don't know. This is a,
You gotta do it real gently. You're gonna pull up the pavement there.
Right, Robin, you better get over here.
Now, you are slowly spreading that cheese.
Right.
Don't use much pressure on it.
Too much on?
Not too much pressure. Lots of cheese.
Right, now,
Robin's telling me.
what is the flavor of that dip?
It's
Curry? Would you please speak a little louder into
curry,
this?
of course.
Oh,
This is real hard to do, you know?
no, I didn't. Tell us about it.
Can't do it. Fucking it up.
It's okay. Go ahead. Tell us all about it.
Well, also in
Tell us how this started, when you started cooking, Julian.
I started cooking when I was a young child.
And who taught you this?
My mother let me bake a cake.
Mother Norma?
Mother Norma.
Yes. Did Norma show you how to spread that so evenly?
Oh, don't tell her that.
Oh no?
Robin, it isn't working. Oh my God.
Why? I think it looks very good.
Yeah, but there's not enough spread.
Okay, we are now going to cut for a commercial.
That was hard to do.
Why, hello. This is Jonathan Child.
Yes, I'm the next shift, and I
Yes.
just took over here.
And what is that?
Because, our shift changes at 9.
Right. Oh yes. What time is it now?
And
9:40. Right.
9:40 is when shift changed. Didn't you hear the whistle?
Right. Now, you seem to be a very hot-looking man from Castro Street. What is this
You can
little?
tell all that?
Yes, I can see it. I mean, what is that you're doing now?
Well, I'm spreading a curry dip on a soaking wet Armenian cracker.
Oh.
And I'm going to serve it to these people tomorrow night.
All the people that know who?
Well, there are all these people that know my friend Robin.
Yes.
Who sounds a lot like you, as a
Oh.
matter of fact. And they're friends of mine, and also friends of John Gillis's, who,
Oh, right.
as you know, will be...
This is John Gillis's surprise
Also
farewell.
Yes.
Right.
And so that's
Right.
what's happening tomorrow night.
Okay, we will now. I think that now we should cut away from this pita bread and go on to the pizzas. Do you agree?
All right.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Bye-bye, Jonathan Child.
Bye.
Here we go with Madge.
Well, hi! Madge here with my trusty Palmolive, the green one. I know you're in black and white, but believe me, this is green. Now, here we are. I am going to wash the dishes. Being Madge for so long has made me grow better. I want you to meet. Okay. I want you to meet one of my very favorite people in this city, this wonderful city of San Francisco. This is my little boy chick. This is Gary, the happy Hawaiian. Okay, Gary, talk.
Do you realize that I am soaking in Robin's Palmolive right now?
Oh.
I'm 80 years old, but these hands are 20.
Okay. Cut. We're running out of... Why don't you be the host? You be the...
Oh, wait, I need a microphone. I need the microphone.
I don't think so, do you?
Here it is. I have one.
All right, let's do that, yeah. Because it's really hard to talk and film at the same time. Perfect, Mike. Good.
Oh, you were filming all of this.
Go ahead.
Hello, testing.
Here we go.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now here we are at the annual Vermelia cutting contest, and this is a contestant here making really good time, and he seems to be having a bit of trouble cutting through the rind, but no, he's almost got it, and this is quite a skilled job that he's doing on this pineapple. And as you know, the pineapple is a member of the ananas family, and there it is, the heart of the pineapple. Let's listen to it.
Yay!
It's not saying much right now. Now he's going to proceed to cut the pineapple into smaller pieces and put the pieces, I believe, is this right? We're going to put the pieces in the open pineapple half, right?
For sure. And these pineapples are direct from the Maui, Hawaii Islands.
Maui Wowie pineapples. Did you hear that, folks? And you'll have to listen to Joe Carcione tonight to find out if they're still available in the markets.
And there it is, a pineapple slice.
Isn't that beautiful, folks? And in record time, I believe, he's going to proceed to try to do the other one and beat the world's record for cutting 2 pineapple halves. This is incredible, yes.
Ooh.
We should have racing music.
As he slices his finger off.
Yes, there's a slight tinge of red to the pineapple. I think that we had an accident. No, clean cut all the way through the bone. Clever, the way he cut the pineapple between his fingers as he cut. Yes. Now he's really making thin slices. He knows he's made good time.
Lots of people use pineapple.
That's true.
Now we'll join Madge over at the dishwashing sink again.
Yes, let's cut to Madge.
How are you doing, Madge?
Madge is still cleaning up over here. She has now done 1 plate and 2 glasses.
Hey, baby.
But she sure can make a hot set of nails.
What
Madge.
do you mean by nails?
Well, I'm referring to your former occupation as the
right.
manicurist at the Bevy of Beauty Salon.
Right. I seem to be at a loss of words right now.
Are you having trouble?
Yes, I'm into my, sorry. I'm into my, sponge.
Oh, I was afraid you were having one of your attacks.
Oh, which one?
Yes, I think it may be. We should cut to the commercial now.
Yes.
Okay, this guy was not at my party. This is.
So this is obviously something that came back into the tapes. This was something that QBL was there, Queer Blue Light, to film. And there's a significant amount of these, just this kind of this ghost footage here on these videos.
These tapes really had a limited life, but they were used over and over because they were expensive, and so there was often bleed through like this into whatever you were shooting. There would be a ghost image, So
yeah, I wanted to keep a little bit of that in there because it really gives you the flavor of the types of tapes that y'all were using and what was going on. The next clip we have is from your Halloween party in 1980. It's got we just have a little clip from it, and there's also another little section that's in there that was from a different time that who knows where that one came.
I don't know how it got in the middle of that. But yes.
Yeah, I was like, oh, hey, here it is. Yeah, you want to tell us a little bit about this party and who's in this video and what's going on there?
Okay, so this is obviously, like, it's about 8 months later, and Halloween, pretty much a gay holiday, right? So it was a big time, and I was in the Castro, which is always a big place to do Halloween. And so anyway, there were people who came in costume. I also did a costume. Dare I talk about that? I don't know, but you'll see who I am, and if you want to know who that is, you can ask, I guess. But but
yeah, we'll put this up and we can chat about it. But yeah, sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to.
Go ahead and put it up, and if something, yeah, go ahead.
All right.
Got an image?
Oh. This is actually Dan Smith's voice.
John.
He's trying to help us get the camera set up. He doesn't realize that it's actually set up and it's working. So he lays it on his side and goes into the other room.
Yeah.
and this
and it stays like that for quite some time.
It's like 8 or 9 minutes.
Here we go.
It's nothing but
okay, it's got a black screen now.
It's pretty hysterical, really.
Mirrors are really interesting, I guess.
So this is this is me in Earl's kitchen, not in my kitchen. And obviously I'm getting high, and
you always tend to present
we're having a deep conversation.
Put on a certain expression when you're looking in the mirror.
Yeah, that's
most of us
not the one
that you're normally doing, really. But, it's better than just puddles, I guess.
Puddles?
Well, before they had mirrors, they just had the puddle or the lake.
Maybe puddles were a little bit kinder because they weren't quite as clear.
And they ripple a little. You didn't worry about it so much. Perhaps. Who knows? On the other hand, maybe everybody was telling you all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think I've hit the eternal void.
Well, you should look directly into the lens. That's where all those millions of people are. Oh, that's great.
Well, I can't think of anything to say to all those millions.
Uh-huh. Well, this is a visual study at this moment.
I'm getting awfully lightheaded.
Are you feeling lightheaded now?
I can't hang on much longer.
Oh my God. Well, here, we'll get you back up. Well, that was bigger than the earthquake even. Considering, though, you took it very calmly.
That's quite a joint. Only half a cup.
Sorry.
Oh, the refrigerator has collapsed.
His singles.
System doesn't work.
What am I going to do?
Well, here we go.
Joint.
Big ones here. Big
joints, big cups.
That's
Oh, it's real coffee. I thought you were gonna serve the everyday imaginary coffee. Oh no, this is more than just every day. This is a special occasion. All right. Woo! It's liquid. Well, it's really not.
Handy dandy porcelain milk.
Why, that means then we could have 2 cups if we want. Or 4 or 8. Or 3 7/12.
Hey, what have we here? Hey there, big boy. Come a little closer.
Woo! Just like old times. Good friends get together with coffee and joints. Oops, you're losing it there. His reality is. Have you been to the VD clinic?
Yeah, it's falling off.
Free. It's free. Go down there.
It's that toxic shock syndrome.
But no one will believe it, though. There was this laughing fool over here.
He's a jester.
We got his picture too. Oh, and the madam in the black. Who's the mysterious lady in the black? Who is this lady down here? Who is she? All these questions and many more will be answered on our next episode of
Don't you miss it.
Do-do-do-doom.
Those are fun. So Earl's a hoot. That was Earl in the jester outfit, right?
Yeah. I think he was supposed to be like a kind of a windblown trifle or something. I don't know what. He wore that to the gay parade that summer, and then he went out on Halloween with that too. So he made these wonderful costumes, and that was obviously crepe paper and glue, but
Right. And did you guys? I mean, you're right in the Castro. Were you participating in any of the kind of outside Halloween shenanigans that were going on? I know that we've got some great videos of Castro Halloweens past.
Well, it was literally it was 100 feet from my door to Market, so yeah, it was, and of course it was the usual traffic jam and stuff. That in those days they did let cars go all the way through the intersection and everything. It was before it became so busy, or they decided it was a problem, and they wanted to close the streets because people were spilling into the streets later on. But that was not in 1980. It was still a relatively new thing. Now you realize that before 1980, almost everything gay-wise was happening in the Polk Gulch area, in Polk Street. So the parades used to go down Polk Street, and then I think they went to the Civic Center from there until then later on they started going up Market Street and stuff. But then the gay area shifted from Polk Street to the Castro, and then that's where Halloween and other events like that happened.
Right. And so you've got Earl in that video, and who else was joining you? There was Robert Gillies, right?
John Gillis.
Or John Gillies, sorry. Yeah, John Gillis.
He was in the Hawaiian boy costume. I don't know if it was in this clip. You could see it.
I don't know. It was a
I think it was cut,
small one, yeah.
And then he was also holding the camera in the last part and making the commentary.
That's right.
And then there was Marie, who's I reacquainted with her after finding this video, and she's now like a wonderful friend. And Marie and her husband, Marie Soderlund and her husband, brain fart. Anyway, her ex-husband. So maybe that's why I lost his name too. But anyway.
Only an ex-husband.
But, yeah, Norbert Lee, and so they were in an Arab costume, right? And Arabs were a big thing right then because, well, it was, the Iran thing was going on, and you can look in the history books and find out about that if you want to. So there were a lot of people in Arab costumes.
Current events bleeding a lot into what you were doing at the time.
They always do in Halloween. I mean, how many people came as Nancy Reagan during the Reagan years? Or as Ivanka Trump, during those horrible years. It was people kind of got their costume ideas based on what was going on at the time. And funny thing, they weren't unique. There were a lot of people who got the same ideas.
Right.
And, but it brought in interesting interactions with people in costumes. If they were in, people in costumes tend to not be the person inside the costume. They become the person who is the costume. And so they take on the character. And so people were acting out a lot with each other, especially if they were in similar garb,
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
fun thing. Yeah, dress up.
And we have one last video, and this one is this one I'm not sure if there was like a specific context for this get together. It just it seems like it's a bunch of friends sitting around having good food and chatting. Let
me set this up a little bit, because my friend Sarah and her boyfriend Keith were visiting from London, and so they are in it. Brooke, who was my partner, is in it, and my friend Norma, who is a friend that I knew in Tucson, who moved to the Bay Area, is in it. And then other people, well, those are the main characters. So that's who's in it.
Whoa.
We also have starting here another.
Yeah, the Jimi Hendrix light show bleeds through.
Right. We'll see if we get if this gets muted on YouTube for the Jimi Hendrix.
You have to pay a fee.
Do they coo at each other?
I don't know. We just saw them for a little while, but they had huge blue bodies and these pink faces and black beaks.
That's Sarah.
And you keep them in a cage, so
So you don't let them fly around in the city. You need to
like
get
house like that. No, I don't think they better come out of their cage.
That means you have to get them
Do
big
they
headed.
talk? They don't talk.
Lovebirds.
Why are they called lovebirds? Because they're always kind of cooing and things.
They're always next to each other, grooming each other. You always get them two, and they always go they do everything together. They eat together, they come out, sit up together. They do everything together. But they're really pretty. I was really going to get a parrot, but then he really liked the lovebirds. They have some cockatiels there, cockatiels.
They're the ones that do that. We used to have one of those in Singapore.
They have those. They have white ones, and they were 6-week-old babies that they had hand-fed from the time they hatched. And they were just adorable. When she opened the door, the two of them were about this big. But they came running towards the door, and they're screeching and screaming. And they climbed right up the front of her. And then, like, when she tried to put them down on the cage, they didn't want to stay on the cage. They wanted back on her.
Oh, no.
And it was just, and they're screeching, and then she brought out the food and showed us her feeding them.
John, okay, John.
It was like, yeah, really.
You got a full 10 minutes of that. Now, do you miss Keith now? I mean, you gotta get everybody in.
Really?
Don't me, go to Keith.
He just loves you scratching your eye there.
Yeah, I'll do it again. Oh, scratching my eye. But we saw a program, was it on television, American television, the other night?
Oh, God, yeah.
And they had this parrot.
They went and got the nail and everything.
No. This was one, it was an opera singer. This was an opera singing parrot.
Oh, that's
remember?
right.
Oh yeah, the one, yeah, we've seen that.
By a
Those are
9-year-old
amazing
boy or
animals.
something.
And it goes.
Yeah.
That's on tonight, those amazing animals.
Yeah.
This was a sort of, we only saw about 2 minutes of it, and there was just this bird thing.
Actually, do you know that parrots can actually reproduce more sounds than any other animal? They can reproduce in more virtually than more sounds than even a human being can. If you notice that if they ever reproduce a human sound, they get it exactly. They don't have trouble with any.
Whatever sound there is.
It's not like somebody speaking a foreign language who can't quite get
Yeah.
a particular difficult thing, like in French or in whatever. Sometimes there's a certain thing that English people can't say, and parrots just do it all. They're incredible.
Yeah, it's true. They can learn any language really,
The thing about parrots.
without having been brought up in it.
I suppose a parrot, I would have thought, needs more attention than lovebirds, really. Do you know what I mean? They're quite demanding birds, aren't
Yeah,
they?
cockatiels are too.
They are, yeah.
She said that they need company, so that's why I wasn't going to get them. The
Yeah.
lovebirds I can just kind of leave alone and they'll be all right.
Because we used to keep our cockatiel on a little, perch with a chain around one leg or something, you know. And it would sort of go back and forth, you know, and sort of make noises and brrrr with its swing all the time, yeah. I didn't actually like it very much because I used to be scared it used to be a bit manipulative, you know.
That's
Well,
Bobo.
these baby ones, she said it would never be that way.
No.
That if they're raised by a bird, they will be, but these said hand
Yeah.
they were little tiny babies.
Maybe this one we got not that young. John?
Bobby,
Do you have sound?
Bobby, you're a star. You're a
Oh, I
star.
didn't know that. Oh. In fact,
There's another trip going on over here, but
sorry to interrupt.
Cut that one.
Having a little trouble.
this was a reunion, actually. It was East and West coming together for a political gathering. And the press is here. We had the press come. We want to appreciate the London press for dropping everything and coming by. And we want to show our appreciation today, ladies and gentlemen, to a good Cub Scout who we have heard about previously, given his astronautical abilities in the knot tying competitions, and
reef knot in particular. The reef knot in particular.
The reef knot.
Yes, that was.
Reefers was an old term.
Absolutely excelled at reef knot.
And they can tie them into knots.
No, we tried doing knots.
Oh, good show.
And John has been developing lately a more artistic shape and art form. And so this is a little badge in appreciation for the aesthetics provided for the evening, for this dinner by John.
Astronomic feast.
Not only that, but it looked good. The look of it.
Yeah.
It was incredibly pleasing, and I think you've taken us a long, long way from the humdrum existence that we knew before.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, I see it first. I hate to look at it like that.
Oh, I want a picture of Norma putting it on his.
Really? We're watching.
Oh, my.
The London press is.
No, it's not it's not a clause 2.
Right, speech!
Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Come on.
Speech!
Now you see. Oh, say. My Wednesday. Oh, absolutely. Stunning is the word.
Can we show
Norma,
the press
will you put it on,
intent
put it on
and
his
the-
chest
and
again,
the-
please?
and
I'd
the-
like a picture of you
And here it
pinning
is. Here it is on my chest.
Oh, yes. No, please. Oh, you're in my picture. What's your
And don't pin it on yet.
Not to your,
Yes, could you look up, please? Thank you. Thank you, lovely.
Thank you.
Now the profile, armpits.
Let's put it on.
I think that should be pinned on that.
This gives it a little body. Let's use.
Oh, that gives it a little
Let's
body?
add this is body.
You've been noticing again.
Lack of body. Yes.
Lack of body. I ain't got no body.
Nobody but me.
Oh, you're a good boss up there. Right here.
Well, now you have this badge to add to
And I don't mean Shirley.
your collection.
Oh my God! Hit the applause meter.
Oh yeah. That's it.
Well, I can't begin to tell you how overwhelmed I am
I'm sure.
with this, and just want you to know that this is probably the highlight of the day.
The second highlight, the real.
The first being getting to read Garfield in the comic pages today. You want to read mine? And, well, I want to thank everyone in the cast, and especially my director and my cameraman. I'm ready for my close-up, Mr. Demi.
Cameramen are getting confused about which flash thing to put it on Una.
About 8.
The London
And
Press.
and the London Press is having trouble with the metric system. I think.
Cameramen over there, you won't see us. Keep the pan over there, please. Right.
And
On the second
boy, ad-libbing is difficult, you know. And now we go to the camera commercial.
Yeah, I know.
That's why theater is such
Yes. I love improv theater. Have you ever seen The Committee? Do you like things like that? Improv theater? Love it, because you give them suggestions, and during the second half they do it.
I can't bear them out of focus.
That's me.
You know, do from your suggestion, they'll create a skit kind of improv all the way across the
Exactly
stage.
on the same.
With all of its mistakes and everything, but it's very intense.
What does?
Yeah.
I think this thing ran out, didn't it, by now?
I did it on 2 here.
Excuse me. Turned off. Close the aperture.
It's off.
That's all right now.
Sorry.
It's still going?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
because you're quite a way away.
So turn it off. Click the switch.
What a wonderful way to what a wonderful way to end that.
What a ham.
It's fun times. I mean, it's, you know, it just goes to show, you know, just people being people and having fun with a video camera and just capturing the just the small moments of life. And I think a lot of times, you know, people tend to kind of disregard some of that. And you know, it has such value. It has enough value, especially just to see, you know, queer people just living and, you know, going about their lives and their friendships. And, you know, not everything has to be a big historical event to be historically significant in the context of, you know, where we are here and now, I think. So thank you very much for sharing all of these with us.
Well, you know, as I said, I hadn't seen any of it for almost 40 years, and so when I did, it was quite a jolt to me, memory-wise. I mean, it was delightful, and I think I described it to Mark Sawchuk as I discovered the Rosetta Stone for my part of my life. You know, something that enabled me to do the Wayback Machine to those days in a really profound way, and also it, like I said before, it also did lead for me to reacquaint with many people that I had lost touch with, and so it was, and they're, it's awesome. It's I love my friends, and I always have, and I lost touch with a lot of people, especially, you know, in the years that followed, and I didn't even know if they were living or dead. So to find people that were alive was a joy, great joy.
Right. What would you say has been, I mean, you know, you're still living in San Francisco now. What would you say has kind of been the biggest shift that you've seen? I mean, you know, you can't just, you know, boil it down to one, but living in San Francisco, you know, what have you seen kind of as the biggest shift in being queer in San Francisco in 1979, 1980, and now, for yourself and for, you know, others that you see who were coming into the city, who were on the same age that you were, you know, making these videos with all your friends?
Well, I already covered one of the biggies about that, and that is that so many were gone. And then there were the other things that happened that weren't disease related. It was simply that this town became so expensive that people who of modest means couldn't afford to live here anymore. And I had a lot of friends from all kinds of high and low places, and it was, you know, it was wonderful. That flat that I was in, I rented for $150 a month, and it was 5 rooms with a garage and a garden, and so, whoa, right? And and those little finds disappeared, and you know, that was quite a wonderful time to get here when the city was still accessible. And then I kind of quickly made my way and you know, wanted to stay, so I made it possible for me to stay by making enough money. But it was so many other people were just tossed out. And it hasn't come back to that. You know, the bohemian nature of the city, the wonderful wild and woolly parts of the city that were so unique have been thrown away, and we have this sort of stuff to remember them, but it really doesn't exist anymore. So that's my big lament about what's happened to the city, by being too beautiful. Actually, the city is too beautiful, and people with money have just come in and said, mine, you know, and that's it. So,
right. Or even just, you know, you've seen kind of the shift, you know, you were talking about earlier that, you know, Pride and a lot of gay things were happening in Polk and in, you know, different neighborhoods. We had so many different gayborhoods in San Francisco, and, you know, now people come in and we have, you know, several historic districts, but the Castro is kind of, you know, the beacon for everybody. You know, what are your thoughts on kind of where that shifted and how that was to, you know, experience real time as you're living in the city?
Well, I don't live in the Castro anymore, but I live close to it. But it's, especially because of the last few years, the Castro has become a dead zone, and it's slowly coming back, but there's not a lot of vibrancy there. And the Castro Benefits District has done a lot to try to make their stamp on the neighborhood, the gay stamp on the neighborhood, with the plaques and the sidewalks and such. But it just isn't. And people have, I don't know where people have gone. I think most of them have left the city, but also people have coupled, which is great. It's wonderful to be in relationships. But the whole single scene that used to be the Castro is not so great, I think. But I'm not single anymore, so I don't really know what the single scene is. Really. What am I talking about?
Well, thank you so much, John, for coming on here and kind of, yeah, going back down memory lane and sharing these videos with us. 3 of the 4 videos that we showed are not currently available to watch the full ones online. They're not put up on our digital archives yet. But if you are in San Francisco, you'd like to, take a look at them, you'd like to watch them, you'd like to do another project on, queer home videos, come into the archives, make an appointment to watch them. Otherwise, we have the entire video of the Leap Day party on, I think it's about a half an hour of content on our website. You can go to the online resources or online collections part of our website and the archives drop-down menu, and you can also see, excuse me, that huge collection of queer blue light film pieces that are, showing all sorts of different things, from performances by gay poets that were televised, or there's several pieces of footage of protests and performance art. It really runs the gamut, and it's really neat to watch just kind of all of this come to life. So I wanna thank you again, John, and for everybody that's been watching and commenting. We have Richard Dworkin shared another photo of Earl from an earlier Halloween night, and I see Dan Nicoletta has been watching. So it's always nice to see some familiar names. And sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to add that a little more color about Earl. Earl played the Irish harp, and he used to sit in front of what is now the museum and play his harp for tips on 18th Street there, and played a beautiful Irish songs and stuff, and it was wonderful. And I think that's one thing that drew me to him, because he was so musically sensitive and obviously an incredible wit.
Yeah, that just certainly comes through in the videos. He was.
We played off of each other a lot, and it was so much fun. And,
you guys had
that's the improv,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of fun. Well, if you would like to join us for any other programs coming up, you can check out our schedule of events on our website at glbthistory.org/events. We have another one coming up on the 18th that will be a book talk, and then we've got some other things in the works for a little bit later in the year. We've got an archives event that'll be happening in May that we're finalizing, and I hope that we will see folks who are local come and join us in the museum, or come see us in the archives, and depending on whatever kind of project you want to make. And I thank you for everybody for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Have a good evening.
Bye.